when did you first notice that May was missing?
Saturday morning.
Okay. And tell me,
her parents came by.
just tell me, kind of walk me through like the last time you saw her and what was going on.
Thursday night. Like we got into a kind of an argument. And we've been having like problems. For about a year. Kind of like been up and down and stuff like that. But after that, I give her space.
So just tell me, so you got into an argument, and then the last time you saw her was actually in the house?
Yes,
okay.
Thursday.
So she didn't take a vehicle?
No.
No one saw her leave?
No, but on Friday, I could still hear her, but I didn't physically see her when I got home. But that's like normal too, because we have lots of bedrooms, it's a 2-story house, and, we kind of I give her space. So, but that's why every time someone says Thursday, yes, it's physically, or visually see her, but for me, it's Friday night. I can hear her like wrestling around, making dinner for herself in another bedroom, and I'm sleeping with the kids in another bedroom.
Okay.
So upstairs and she's downstairs, kind of deal, kind of like a roommate thing. It's kind of like giving each other space. Well, sure. I don't need the space. She always wants the space.
Got it. So it was like Friday, and then you left or went somewhere, and then came back, and she wasn't there, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I left her with my 2 girls because they do their homeschool. Mm-hmm. And then I just had my son with me. So when I came back, she was still there on Friday. We can hear her downstairs, like after I'm done giving the kids baths and feeding them and everything. And on Saturday morning, when her parents came by, her door was locked. I found the keys to the bedroom, and I opened it, and she was already gone. So maybe she went to a morning sunrise hike.
Besides being the sweetest, most adorable thing I ever did see and hear, the song lyrics Maya chose I find very, very interesting, considering what her sister said. So let me just dig up this soundbite from her sister testifying.
She said, if something happens to me, it's gonna be Larry.
Interesting, right? So I'm going to do something a little bit different. I'm going to go through the court hearings with you. I'm going to upload this as a premiere and then join the chat so we can talk about the court hearings. Before we get to any of the witnesses though, I want to start with the forensics so we can compare what Larry just told us with the evidence and see if Larry's story matches the evidence. So to begin with, we will start with the forensics specialist, and then we will move on to his cross-examination.
Sir, can you please spell or state your name and spell your last name for the record?
My name is David Garber, Garber.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Mr. Garber, what do you do for a living?
I'm a forensic specialist with the Chula Vista Police Department.
And
Now, some of this is going to be a little bit annoying to listen to. It drags on for a bit, so I'm probably going to fast forward through a few things. And yeah, this intro is probably one of them.
and can you just kind of briefly describe what happened?
So my job duties include responding to crime scenes, documenting the crime scene through photographs and sketching, collecting evidence, processing for fingerprints, and I do other specialized techniques such as blood stain pattern analysis and shooting incident reconstruction.
And when the Children's Police Department goes out to serve a search warrant for a sample, you also take
Shooting incident reconstruction is his specialty. So they absolutely do think that Larry shot Maya.
photographs to document a scene or house or location of your pet.
Yes, I do.
And did you assist in documenting a scene during various search warrants involving the disappearance and then later further investigation regarding Millete?
Yes, I did.
Did you take photographs to document the house, the residence of the Millete family at 2413 sale of Baptist on January 23rd, 2021?
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about kind of your process, how you go about taking photos.
Forensic photography is a two-step process. You start with a generalized view of the scene, placing that scene within a jurisdiction. Then you move into the next section or segment of photographs.
I don't know, we need to know all of that. Let's move on a little bit.
So there's a series of photos. They start with 2-1, and I'm going to ask you to kind of go through those photos with us to orientate us to that house we talked about. And so go ahead and put up on the screen there a photograph of Courts Exhibit 2-1. Do you recognize what we see in that photograph?
Yes, I do. That's the same photograph that I'm viewing in the binder.
And what is that photograph?
This is a photograph of the front of the house at 2413 Paseo Los Gatos.
2-2 is also projected up on the screen.
So what we get here is a good layout of the house, how it looks, where all the rooms are situated in relation to each other, and so on.
SUV that was parked in the driveway.
Photograph, Courts Exhibit 2-3, what are we looking at in this photograph? What perspective do we have here?
In this photograph, I'm standing in the front right-hand corner of the yard. If you were facing the house, that would be the right-hand side. This is a photograph towards the front door in the garage.
And that's the photograph on the screen is the same as the that you're looking at there.
Yes, the photograph on the screen is the same as in the binder.
And photograph 2-4, Courts Exhibit 2-4, what are we looking at there?
The photograph that's projected is the same as what I'm looking at in the binder. And this is a photograph of the front door of the residence.
And Courts Exhibit 2-4, that would be the front door of the house.
Correct.
Looking at Courts Exhibit 2-5, can you tell us what we're looking at in that?
Courts Exhibit 2-5, what's projected is the same as what's in the binder. And this is a photograph of the front door, but this time it's taken from within the residence.
And so it's labeled here entryway, that would be the photograph we just saw. Enter through the front door, that would be the entryway of the residence.
Correct.
And again, these photos are all the way the residence looked on January 23rd, 2008, correct?
That's correct.
Looking at Courts Exhibit 2-6, tell us what we're looking at there in relation to the photo we just looked at.
The photograph in the binder is the same as what's projected. In this photograph, this is a photograph of the living room, and the location of the living room is as you enter the house, it's off to the right of the front door.
Courts Exhibit 2-7.
So this just reminded me that she'd only
This
just
exhibit,
had
that's
Christmas
displayed as the
and
same
still
as
didn't
in
take
the
the
This is another
decorations
photograph of the
down.
living room. In this photograph, I've proceeded to the back wall of the photograph, and I'm photographing towards the stairway, the front stairway, and the front door. The front door would be located to.
Okay, let me just point something out here. The cameraman is not looking where he's supposed to be looking, and this is why judges get upset about cameras in the courtroom. Because, like right now, he's trained on the court reporter, the stenographer. We pretty much know everything the stenographer's writing because we can hear it, but it's when they train in on the defense or the prosecution's laptops that it becomes an issue. Anyway, this annoying cameraman does it quite a lot.
On the left edge of this photograph.
So going back to 2-6, we see that Christmas tree, and it looks like a piano kind of in the background of the photo. And then looking at Courts 2-7, this photograph looks like it's looking out back over that piano.
That's correct.
Courts Exhibit 2-8, what are we looking at here?
In this exhibit, that's displayed as the same that's in the binder. This is another. This is a photograph of the front hallway of the residence. On the left edge of the photograph is the front door, and the front stairway proceeds from the middle of the photograph towards the top.
And it looks like kind of by the front door, there's a shelf, or kind of a shelving unit. Do you recall what was in that shelving unit?
The brown shelving unit?
Yes.
Those are shoes.
And then in kind of looks like a red armoire type thing, or another kind of entryway unit. What was in that?
In that unit, as you can see, there are backpacks and outerwear for the different individuals that live in the household.
Looking at Courts Exhibit 2-9, what are we looking at there?
The exhibit that's displayed is the same that is in the binder. In this photograph, we're looking at a hallway that stems off of that front hallway. This hallway leads to the garage, room that's on the first floor, and a bathroom that's back there.
So the door that we're looking at, kind of straight on in this photo, 2-9, where does that door lead to?
Following the hallway straight down, that doorway in the middle of the frame leads to the garage.
And if you were to turn left, where would you end up?
Turning left on that hallway, you would end up at a bathroom.
And what about turning right before you get to the door that leads to the garage?
To the right is a bedroom.
Looking at Courts Exhibit 2-10, what are we looking at in that photograph?
This exhibit is the same that's in the binder. In this exhibit, there are two photographs. On the left-hand photograph, we're looking at a closet that's in that hallway that leads to the garage. You can see on the left edge of the photograph, there's that red armoire that was in the front hallway. And then the photograph on the right hand of this exhibit is what was inside of that closet. Shows a safe and some jackets.
Take notice of the safe because it becomes a good part of the story throughout the trial. It's mentioned by various different people for various different reasons.
And what was located inside that closet of significance for your recall?
The significance was that safe.
Something inside the safe?
I recovered a few firearms and some digital storage devices out of that safe.
Looking at Courts Exhibit 2-11, what are we looking at in that photograph?
In this photograph, what's displayed is the same that's in the binder. This is the living room that's situated next to that room with the piano and across from the hallway leading to the garage. The red armoires center this photograph to give you reference of positioning.
So looking out over that dining room table towards that door, because again, that door leads to the garage.
That is correct.
Looking at 2-12, what is that?
This exhibit, which is the same that's in the binder, this is the bathroom that was located in the hallway leading to the garage.
I think you'd say as you go to the garage, that door leading to the garage, if you turn left, you'd see this bathroom.
That's correct.
Okay. And then 2-13, what are we looking at there?
In this exhibit, which is the same that's in this binder, this is these are photographs of that room that's on the first floor. In the photograph towards the right, I'm standing within the room, photographing over the bed that's located in that room. On the left edge is the door that leads out to that hallway, which leads to the garage. And then in the left-hand photograph, that's a photograph of the closet in that same bedroom.
And the clothing in that guest bedroom closet, could you tell whether or not it was male, female?
The clothing is primarily male looking clothing.
And
So, in Larry's version of the story, they were sleeping in separate bedrooms, like roommates, quote unquote. So, this is likely to be where Larry was staying, and it becomes an issue a little bit later. We'll come to that eventually, but you'll note that this guy, this forensic guy, doesn't say anything about who was staying in what rooms, even though it becomes an issue.
it appeared to be adult or child, male clothing.
Adult clothing.
Looking at 2-14, what are we looking at there? What perspective are we looking at in the dining room?
In this exhibit, which is the same that's in the binder, this is the dining room that's located in the residence. So this room is adjacent to the front room with the piano and across from the hallway that leads to the garage.
And when you say adjacent, is there a wall or anything in between those two rooms? The front room with the piano and the dining room area?
It's a half wall. As you can see on the right edge of the photograph, there's the plant on top of the black piano.
May I approach the witness to provide him with a laser pointer? I mean, if he wants to help direct us.
Yes. I understand.
Well, it just,
Thank you.
that's the most important thing. So, looking at 2-15, what are we looking at here?
This exhibit that's projected is the same that I'm viewing in the binder. This is a photograph of a small hallway or an entryway from that dining room into the kitchen. This is kind of on the back side of that dining.
So we're looking back at 2-14. Where would that kind of passageway to the kitchen be in this photograph?
That passageway is towards the left edge, center edge of the photograph. My pointer is going up and down. Right?
So kind of from the left, and about in the middle of the photograph, just to the left of the light fixture appears to be a doorway, and you're kind of indicating in that area.
That is correct.
I actually forgot to mention I couldn't find these videos from any news network, so I don't know who was actually broadcasting it. And you will notice the branding on the video is actually matte black. So I will put his link in the channel. He's the only one I could find who recorded the whole thing. I also have some of Chasing Truth. I'll also put hers in the link, a link for hers in the description if you want to watch the whole thing. But she only caught the start of the first day. I think it was just the start. But I've just mixed it up a bit because I didn't want to download a whole 7-hour video, which Matt Black's is. And between he and chasing truth, I got about an hour and a half all up. So, yeah, hopefully you can sit through it.
And for the record, he actually did use the laser pointer to hide.
So walking through that little passageway, what room would you end up through?
So walking through this passageway, you end up in the kitchen.
2-16, what are we looking at here?
The exhibit that's projected is the same that I'm viewing in the binder. This is a photograph of the kitchen. In this photograph, I've walked through that passageway just into the kitchen and photographed along one wall of the kitchen.
And if you were to, looks like there's a TV. Can you describe kind of if you were to walk towards that TV, the house, as you walk from the kitchen towards that TV room?
So as you walk through the kitchen, once you pass the island that's in the foreground of the photograph, you will come to the back stairway of the residence, which is kind of the center of this photograph going up, and then into the TV room.
And then it looks like there's kind of some red drapes there on the to the right. What is that?
That's a door that leads to the backyard.
2-17, what are we looking at here?
In Exhibit 2-17, that's what's projected is the same as what's in the binder. This is another photograph of the kitchen. In this photograph, I've just moved to the another corner of the kitchen and photographed back towards the kitchen and the back stairway.
Just a point to note, on the sideboard to the right there, oh no, the floors. I don't know, I think it's a sideboard. It's a sideboard just under the window on the right. It looks like it's got dust and stuff all over it. It looks to me like forensics has been in there. So later on, the defense will make an issue out of whether or not they have DNA and identification of other members of the household. And I think it's safe to say that, you know, they got pretty much everyone's DNA and fingerprints. But anyway.
What about Course Exhibit 2-18?
This exhibit, which is the same that's in the binder, this is a photograph of the back stairway. I've climbed up the stairway and photographed back down towards the TV room. So the couch that's kind of lower center of the photograph, that's in that TV room.
Course Exhibit 2-19, what are we looking at here?
This exhibit is the same that is in this binder. This is a photograph of the front stairway. So now I've moved to the front of the residence and photographing from the front entrance up towards the second floor.
And if you were to walk up the front staircase, where would you be in relation to walking up the stairs from the back staircase?
The two staircases meet at a landing, kind of the center right of this photograph. And using my pointer, it's sort of this area.
Indicating kind of essentially at the top of the stairs. 2-20, which is projected on the screen now. What are we looking at here?
The exhibit that's projected is the same that's in this binder. And this is a photograph of that landing where the two stairways meet. In this photograph, I'm photographing from the main bedroom's door looking towards the landing of the stairways.
And there's kind of looks like a red bucket on the floor. Can you use that at all to orientate us to where the staircases end up?
Yes, that red bucket is on that landing where the two staircases meet. So on the left edge of this photograph is the staircase that leads to the front door, and on the right side of the photograph is the staircases that leads to the TV room.
And the vantage point of this photograph is from where?
This is pretty much the doorway to the main bedroom.
Okay, wait a minute. I'm going to have to go back a bit. Where are we? 18 and 15. I want to just go back a little bit because is that cleaning gear or toys? It's hard to say, isn't it? I don't know. I think it might be toys. It's an odd spot to leave the toys. Anyway, we'll move back to where we were.
To the TV room.
And the vantage point of this photograph is from where?
This is pretty much the doorway to the main bedroom.
Course Exhibit 2-21.
In this exhibit, what's projected is the same as what's in the binder. In this photograph, I'm essentially standing where that red bucket was located, facing towards the doorway to the main bedroom, which is what's on the left edge of that photograph.
I'm sorry?
The doorway to the main bedroom is sort of the left half of the photograph.
And through the doorway, we see the dresser and mirror.
Correct.
Looking at 2-22, we'll be looking at this exhibit.
This exhibit 222 is the same as what's in the binder. This photograph is another view of the entrance into the main bedroom. Right at the very edge of this photograph, you see the front edge of that dresser with the mirror. And then on the left side is the doorway that leads up to the front and back steps.
Looking at 2-23, what are we looking at in this photograph?
This photograph, what is displayed is the same that's in the binder. This photograph is looking into the main bedroom. Essentially, I'm standing at that doorway, looking towards the back of the house, or the back of the bedroom.
The inside of that main bedroom?
Correct.
Okay, take note of what's in the main bedroom because I think that tells its own story about confirming that Larry and Maya were in separate rooms.
2-24, what are we looking at in this photograph?
In this photograph, what is displayed is the same as in the binder. This is a desk that is in the main bedroom. This photograph just
There's Maya's guitar in the background there.
shows a computer and some other electronics that were on the desk.
And again, this is the way the desk looked January 23rd, 2021.
That's correct.
2-25, we will begin this.
This photograph, which is the same as in the binder, this is another photograph of the main bedroom. In this photograph, I'm standing next to the desk, photographing towards the one of the walls of the bedroom. Off to my left in this photograph would be the door leading to a patio on the the main bedroom. And as you can see on the right edge is the bed in the bedroom.
2-26, what are we looking at in this photograph?
This photograph, which is the same as in the binder, this is another view of the main bedroom. I've moved to the corner that was just photographed and I'm photographing back towards the entrance of the bedroom. It shows the bed in the front, the foreground of the photograph, and then in the background you can see the mirrored door leading into the closet of the main bedroom.
And then I'm going to just zoom in on something as well. Do you recall what was on the shelf next to the entrance to the closet?
There were numerous purses on the shelf.
Looking at 2-27, what are we looking at in this photograph?
This photograph is the same as what's in the binder. It's another view of the master bedroom. On the right edge of this photograph in the background is the entrance to the bedroom. In the center of the photograph is the entrance into the closet.
2-28, what are we looking at in this photo?
This photograph, what's displayed is what is in the binder. This is a photograph of the closet in the main bedroom.
And did you go into the closet in the main bedroom?
Yes, I do.
And what, describe what you saw in the closet?
Inside the closet, it's a walk-in closet. It's kind of divided in half by a series of shelves, a shelf unit. There's clothes all along the walls of each of the whole closet, and then in the shelf unit are boxes of more clothing, purses, and personal items.
2-29, what are we looking at in these two photographs?
The photograph that's displayed is the same that is in the binder. In this exhibit, the photograph on the left-hand side is a photograph of the closet. In this view, I'm photographing out towards the main bedroom. And then the photograph on the right-hand side, I've walked around that divider, the cabinet divider in the closet, and I'm photographing towards the back wall of the photograph, back wall of the closet in this photograph.
And could you tell whether or not this was adult or children's clothing?
Primarily adult type clothing.
And male or female?
Majority was female clothing.
So, as the, let's say, 13th juror, does anybody watching this get the impression that this is where Maya was staying? This is the room that she was staying in?
And 2-30, what are we looking at there?
This is another photograph within the main closet. This photograph is kind of the bottom level of clothes that were hanging along the back wall of the closet.
Now, looking at these different photos of the closet, were there any sections of clothing that appeared to be missing? Anything that indicated that certain things, clothing had been removed from the closet?
The closet appeared to be completely full of clothes.
I can't even see a single hanger that doesn't have something on it.
Looking at 2-31, what are we looking at here? What's our vantage point here in this photograph?
In this exhibit, which is the same as what's in this binder, this is a photograph of the main bedroom. In this photograph, I'm standing essentially in front of the rack of purses, looking towards the bathroom that's connected to this bedroom.
And if you recall, what was on the shelving unit right next to that bathroom?
More purses and personal items.
Looking at 2-32, what are we looking at in this photograph?
In this exhibit, which is the same as in the binder, this is two photographs of the bathroom in the main bedroom. If you were to walk into that area towards the right, would be the right-hand photograph. You would see the bathtub. To the left, as you entered, is our sinks and vanities, and then a toilet area. The glass squares that are shown on the right-hand edge of the left photograph, that's the shower within that bathroom.
So if you were to walk into the bathroom, essentially you'd see the photo on the right, to the right, the bathtub, and the photo on the left, to the left.
That's correct.
Looking at 2-33, what is this photograph?
The exhibit that's displayed is the same that's in the binder. And this is a photograph of one of the sink and vanity areas in that main bathroom. On the left-hand edge of the photograph are those glass squares of the shower.
And again, did it appear that there was items missing, or in other words, were there any areas that appeared to be missing items, makeup or toiletry type things in the vanity area?
Nothing seemed to be out of the ordinary in my view.
This is such a shitty freaking zoom on the camera lens, but if it was better, we could get a closer look and see if there's a toothbrush in amongst all of this. Because, you know, if she's going to take her makeup on a walk in the morning, as Larry said, then she's probably going to take a toothbrush. You know what I mean?
Looking at 2-34, what are we looking at in this photograph?
The photograph that's displayed is the same that's in the binder. In this photograph, I've moved from the main bedroom out into the hallway on the second floor. Essentially, I'm standing at the meeting point of the front and back stairways, but I'm photographing towards the front of the house.
And as you're photographing towards the front of the house, can you tell what name is on that doorway towards the front of the house?
That's Laura.
How's that spelled?
Lara.
It's spelled L-A.
2-35 is up on the screen now. What are we looking at in that photograph?
The photographs that are displayed are the same that's in the binder. These two photographs are of a bedroom on the second level. What you're seeing in the photograph on the left-hand edge of this display, it's a photograph from within the bedroom showing the front door, looking out towards the front door of the room, or the door of the room. And in the right-hand photograph, it's a photograph from the doorway looking into the room.
And can you kind of describe how it appeared this room was used?
This room appeared to be just extra, like a storage room.
And where is the house 2 stories?
Yes,
And this is the bedroom that's on the second story.
that's correct.
And then looking at 2-36, what are we looking at in this photograph?
This exhibit is the same as what's in the binder. This exhibit shows 2 photographs. This is a room that's directly across from where the 2 stairs meet. This is on the second floor. In the right-hand photograph, you can see the doorway into a bathroom, a hallway bathroom there, which is center of that photograph. On the left edge of that photograph is the door into the laundry room. And then the photograph on the left-hand half of this display is a photograph of that laundry room. For reference, the
Just going to go past this because he talks a lot about where things are in this.
Looking at 2-37, what are we looking at in this photograph?
This photograph that's displayed is the same that's in this binder. And this is a photograph of the doorway leading into the first bedroom you would come across as you were in the second floor hallway.
I am not going to project 2-38. but can you tell us what is depicted in 2-38?
Exhibit 2-38 depicts two photographs of that first bedroom on the second floor. Now, one of the photographs shows the bed in the room, and the second shows kind of the desk and dresser within that room.
Did you say that was the first or second?
Bedroom as you were in that second floor.
And with that, that would be not counting the quote unquote extra bedroom.
That is correct.
Okay, so this bedroom would be the first bedroom that you come across, in addition to the main bedroom that appear to be inhabited as a bedroom,
Correct.
just here today. And can you, would it be fair to say it looked like a child's bedroom?
That's fair to say.
And in fact, was it identified as one of the children by the name of Millete in her bedroom?
Yes, it was.
Now, looking at 2-39, what do we see in that photograph?
In Exhibit 2-39, this is a photograph on the second floor of the residence. This photograph shows a hallway which leads into sort of a loft area that's on the second floor.
So, we back up to when you were standing from the main bedroom. Well, actually, get that back. When you were kind of standing in the hallway for the second floor, looking down towards the bedroom with the name Laura on it, how would you get to this little hallway if you were walking down the hallway towards Laura's bedroom?
So this hallway is just in front of that doorway leading into Lara's bedroom.
Looking at 2-40, what are we looking at now?
This exhibit, which is the same as what's in the binder, this is a photograph of that loft room. I'm standing on the wall that's above the kind of front entrance, looking towards the side of the house. In this photograph, you can see a desk that's on the left-hand edge and a couch and boxes that are on the other side of the photograph.
Looking at 2-41, what are we looking at in this photograph?
In this exhibit, which is the same that's in this binder, this is another photograph of that loft room. In this photograph, I'm photographing towards the hallway leading to the bedrooms. On the right-hand edge of the photograph is the desk that was in the previous exhibit.
And so, as you look, there's a couple of open doorways. As you look out in the foreground of this photograph, what would be those doorways? Just to orientate us what we just saw.
The doorways that are in the photograph, using my pointer, is the doorway that's on kind of the right half of the photograph depicts the laundry room. If you look carefully, you can see that same shoe rack on the doorway. And then using my pointer, the doorway that's on the left half of the photograph is the doorway into the main laundry room.
2-42, I'm not going to project. Can you tell us what we see in that photograph?
In this exhibit, it's two photographs of Laura's room. One of the photographs kind of shows the bed and the closet, and the other photograph shows the closet and the doorway.
And similarly, I'm not going to project 2-43. What do we see in that photograph?
In that exhibit, it's a photograph of a desk that Laura's room.
Looking at 2-44, what do we see in that photograph?
The exhibit that's displayed is the same that's in this binder. This photograph is taken outside of the house. It's the side yard of the residence. So for reference, one of the first photographs that we talked about was a photograph from corner of the the front yard, which was the right-hand side as you face the house. The back corner of the backyard, this is that same right-hand side of the house. So if you're facing the house, this is along the right-hand side of it. In this photograph, you can see a fireplace and then a black that runs along the back. Fireplace, this is photographed back towards the house. The balcony that you see on the house, that is attached to the main room of the house. And the underneath that balcony, that's the kitchen of the residence.
Okay, this balcony here, which is attached to the main bedroom, you'll hear later Larry's defense team claiming that that's where they think Maya left the house. Well, they don't say it outright, but that's what they're insinuating. That she came out that door, climbed over the balcony, and climbed down a ladder and went off for her morning walk.
So that for the balcony, that would be that main bedroom with the walk-in closet and the attached bathroom with the women's clothing in that closet. That balcony would go to that bedroom.
That's correct.
Sorry, which bedroom was that again?
The main bedroom. And then 2-47, what are we looking at?
This photograph that's displayed is the same that's in this binder. This is another photograph of this, I should say this is a photograph of the side of the house. If you were standing in front of the house looking at it, this would be along the left edge of the property. In this photograph, I'm standing at the backyard, photographing towards the front.
And the landscape of both the front and the backyard, is it mostly hardscape or is there soft landscape?
It's mostly hardscape.
Question about 2-47. What's that? How they it has a number of shovels and other types of equipment leaning against the wall. Was that how it was when you went to photograph?
Yes, I photographed the crime scene as is.
Did any of the law enforcement officers executing the search warrant place those items?
Not that I'm aware of.
Looking at 2-48, what are we looking at in that photograph?
This exhibit that's displayed is the same that's in the binder. This is a photograph of a truck that was parked inside the garage of the residence.
So if you look above the garage door there, it appears they might have security cameras. Not sure if they are motion sensor light or security cameras, but just given the little lid over the top, I'd say it's security cameras. And isn't it funny how whenever these sort of things go down, the security doesn't work?
And just to kind of jump back to the question that the judge was asking, when you go to assist to document execution of search warrant, is there a standard procedure with regard to taking photos before or after the search is conducted?
Yes.
Tell us about that.
So when we arrive at a crime scene, generally a crime scene or a search warrant, we're briefed on the circumstances of the incident by the lead investigators and officers responding. After that point, the first thing that is done is I go through and take photographs of the scene as is prior to any search that's conducted. After completion of the search, I'll go back and photograph the scene as we left it after the search.
Thank you. I have no questions.
Process. going to take a break and we will continue
Let's take a break here.
at 3:15.
15 minutes.
Okay, so now we are at the cross-examination stage, and things get a little warm from this point onwards. So just to recap, we've got an idea of the layout of the house. We can see that they actually were sharing separate bedrooms, and some parts of Larry's story kind of line up. The story he told the reporter. The thing I want to point out about what he told the reporter is that that was very early in the piece. Very early. I don't remember the dates exactly, but I'm pretty sure it was before he started being investigated. Or it might have been around the same time, sort of then-ish. But it's his earliest kind of statement, and it will be used against him, even though he didn't say it directly to law enforcement. And this is why lawyers tell you when you get arrested or when you're under suspicion or something's happening, don't talk. But Larry did talk. He talked to a reporter. And so it's those kind of statements that he's got to stick to that story now. Otherwise he looks like a liar, or that he's making shit up. So I just wanted to point that out because it's going to be used against him when this goes to trial, like what he said to that reporter and how he will have. Sorry about that. Let me get my stuff together. Okay. Wow, had a few buttons to play with. So I'm using a new program for this, so sorry about that. So yeah, essentially, yeah, but what Larry said early in the piece to the reporter will be used against him unless he wants to do what Barry did, and every time he discovers new evidence, introduce a new version of the story to cover that evidence. But, you know, in the end, Barry got away with it, so maybe Larry will try it as well. I don't know. So that's the end of Direct. So what we'll have next episode is the cross-examination of the forensic guy. And yeah, things get a little bit warmer. The judge gets a little bit pissed off and things go a little bit awry for the defense in the next episode. So stay tuned.